So I'm really delighted to welcome you all to this event in this college for the launch event of the Leverhulme Centre for Life in the Universe. I think this event is simply a celebration of the work that we have been doing to promote this ambitious and visionary project. I would personally really like to thank you, all of you, for the strong support and this constant support we got in the process and we received in a rather long and difficult process. And we've started more than 1 year ago, all this, with all the uncertainties. And I think it's really great to be reaching that level here right now and to be in a position to really create the center. It's absolutely fair, and I don't want to make a long list of all the people who contributed to that because the list would be really long, that this project would have never been possible without your help. And some of you, I will know exactly, I've been talking to a lot of you, asking advice and documents reading, proofing and rewording and ideas. So you all know what you've been doing, and really thank you very much for this. I mean, it's great to celebrate that we've been successful. Today is a day to enjoy, to celebrate, and I think to get thrilled and excited by the program that we're planning to develop. This afternoon, in a couple of hours, we'll be together here. I think we're planning to offer you, let's call it a teaser, a bit of the program, or in a way, of kind of an overview of our plans. To do that, we have specifically asked some of the members of the center that participated to the development of the ideas to present a bit more specifically what they're doing and what they're planning to do and they're planning to develop in the framework of the Leverhulme Centre that we are just starting. Practical, we will start with introductions, first giving a chance to have what's called a Cambridge perspective. The university was very supportive and towards the centre. And I think this is fair to recognize this, and this is certainly a big part of the success. The fact we've started before developing initiatives was really, I think, instrumental for the successful outcome of that project. Then my colleague, Professor Tosca, Associate Director of the Centre, will spend a bit more time to explain the purpose of the Centre, the rationale behind, and what it will be doing, and will be doing to support you for the next 10 years. It's quite an ambitious and long scale that we're not used to in science, at least for the funding support. And that's one of these wonderful aspects of the Leverhulme Trust. Then we go to the core of the science. We have structured the afternoon in 3 topics. We will simply start from the Earth and talking about the project related to Earth and life on Earth, life as we know it on Earth. We'll then move to space, going to the planet of the solar systems, and then we go to planet on other stars, and we will finally address the various angles and aspects related to these very profound and big questions, which mean life and life in the universe. So I would suggest that without further delay, let the show begin, and let me invite Nigel Peake, the head of School of Physics, giving us a kind of overview what Cambridge has been doing for us when planning to do. Please.
Well, thank you, Didier. And I just want to start with an apology that it's only me. The PVC for Research, Anne Ferguson-Smith, had hoped to be here to congratulate you in person. She couldn't be at the last minute, but I'm here to express the huge pleasure and pride that the University of Cambridge takes in Didier and all his team, and in this new centre for life in the universe. It really is one of the key drivers in the university of interdisciplinarity, of excitement, and as you'll see, it goes much further than physical sciences. What I'll start by saying, though, of course, is that we want to thank the Leverhulme Trust for their absolutely magnificent investment. As Didier says, where else could you get support for 10 years? And this is a magnificent vote of confidence, I think, in the science that's being done here. So we're hugely grateful to the Leverhulme Trust. And I should say, I'm a mere head of school, but the centre of the university got right behind this bid in terms of significant financial resources as well. And I think that was a real testament to how much the university values these efforts. I want to congratulate Didier and his team, of course, who put in so much work. I observed the bid as it was developing, and it really was a massive effort. And this is the sort of thing you've got to do in order to secure funding at this level, and it's hugely well deserved. So many congratulations for that. So why is this so exciting? Well, I should say that, of course, the university is academically divided into 6 schools, not just physical sciences, but technology, biological sciences, clinical school, 2 humanities schools. And I don't think there's any school in the university which this initiative does not touch, actually. It's a magnificent display of how to put together an interdisciplinary project. Physical sciences, of course, we'd started on this journey some time ago. We've made very exciting appointments in this area. Well, none other than Didier himself, of course, but in very recent years, we've been able to appoint people like Nick Tosca into sciences, Ollie Shortall, Paul Rimmer, really exciting appointments. And so the arrival of the Leverhulme Centre, I think, is really helping to accelerate these efforts even further. There are 8 departments in the School of Physical Sciences. All of them are hugely behind this project, and almost all of them have made a significant financial contribution. If there's anybody here from material sciences and metallurgy, you will have the opportunity to do that later, of course. But I think that's a real demonstration of how much all my colleagues have really bought into Didier and his team's vision. And one other thing, which I'll say very briefly, and I think this is confidential, but I don't know who this is being broadcast to, but I'll say it anyway, is not just in research that a difference is being made. Didier and his team are planning a new MPhil course in life in the universe, and so it's not just about cutting-edge research. It's going to be about training the next generation of scientists who are going to work in these areas as well, and we hope that will be starting within the next 2 years. There's a huge amount of work developing that course, and it looks really exciting. So that's just another example of the sort of spin-off we're seeing. So I'm going to stop now. I'm going to hand over to Nick Tosca, who's going to say something scientific, no doubt, but let me just echo again on behalf of Cambridge University our huge thanks to Leverhulme and our best wishes to everybody who's involved in this project, which I'm absolutely sure is going to be a massive success. And congratulations to you personally as well, Didier.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. So then the floor is on Nick Tosca. He's helping me to set up the center. So Nick, please come in.
Thanks very much, Didier. As we started off in the proposal, we made the case that this is really a critical juncture in scientific understanding, or at least the moment at which this research initiative is launching. As many of us know, organic chemists have discovered new pathways that could have generated the building blocks that are essential to life, from relatively simple molecules that we believe were available in environments on the Earth. At the same time, as many of us know, missions to Mars have recently discovered a geological record that we no longer have on the Earth, that was long ago obliterated on the Earth. And from that, we have the unique opportunity to understand whether these chemical pathways might have been viable on environments on the early Earth or elsewhere. And then lastly, planetary science has been transformed by what's called the exoplanet revolution, providing our first opportunity to investigate whether the Earth and the processes that made life possible might be unique in the universe. And so I guess all of this is to say that this is really a defining moment for understanding the origins of life in the universe. And in 10 years' time, our science broadly will be confronted by a number of incredible challenges to our understanding. So, for example, samples that have already been collected that are actually sitting on the Perseverance rover right now will be returned to Earth within 10 years. New generations of extremely powerful telescopes will have the potential to detect the first signatures of planetary and exoplanetary atmospheres. So now more than ever, we believe that the academic community really needs a deeper and more robust understanding of what life is and where else it might exist or might have existed in the universe. And so this really requires what we think is an unprecedented level of collaboration among the physical, biological, mathematical sciences, and as well as the arts and humanities, which I'll discuss in just a moment. So that is, in essence, the goal of the Leverhulme Centre. It's to develop an understanding of life and its potential distribution in the universe, and to really meet those upcoming challenges. And we frame the initial proposal, and indeed the research agenda of the center is framed around 4 key questions. One is, what are the chemical pathways which led to the origins of life that are compatible with what we know about different planetary environments? The second is, how do we characterize environments on the Earth or other planets that could have acted as the cradle for prebiotic chemistry and for life? The third is what observational facilities and methods will allow investigation of bodies beyond the solar system and the remote sensing of their atmospheres and the search for signatures of geological and biological evolution. That's becoming a reality and a challenge that's being increasingly met by ever more sophisticated missions. And lastly, how can philosophical and mathematical concepts refine our understanding of what we mean by life, and leading to new interdisciplinary collaborations and modes of scientific inquiry? And so those are the 4 main questions. And I think within those 4 questions, it really knits together disciplines across the research remit of the university. And that, I think, is what makes this initiative so special. So I guess to elaborate on the things that I think make the initiative special, I'm going to focus on really 3 aspects. The first being the place. The center will, of course, take advantage of the unique environment that is Cambridge, both in its flexible academic and collegiate environment, and also the facilities we have available to exchange researchers between laboratories and different departments. So a lot of the framework, the academic framework that exists in Cambridge is arguably exceptionally well suited for initiatives of this type. The second aspect that I think is unique are the people. There are the people at Cambridge across the center. Our scientists are involved and, in fact, leading new frontiers of discovery-led missions that are really going to shape our science in real time. And indeed, the scientific agenda of the center will respond to that, by virtue of those of us who are involved in these missions and responsive discoveries. The center can tweak and adjust its research goals to really meet the influx of new information. But along with the people that happen to exist physically in Cambridge are, of course, the spokes, which within the Leverhulme Initiative are defined as collaborative institutions hosting discipline efforts that are discipline experts that are really critical to this effort. And so that includes folks from University College London, ETH Zurich, Harvard, University of Colorado, and Princeton. And really what's critical about the spokes is that they establish key cross-disciplinary links that expand the conversation beyond Cambridge and really make this a truly international, interdisciplinary effort. And I guess the last aspect that I think is unique about this center is the approach. I think a number of us will be aware that there are research initiatives that are devoted to similar topics that exist elsewhere. But I think one of the things that makes this initiative different is that scholars in philosophy, literature, and theology have played a crucial role in the center's conception, and they're essential for helping the center achieve these ambitious goals, and they've been involved right from the very beginning. As Andrew Davison, a colleague who is in theology, has reminded us, consideration of life is a central feature of human reflection and scholarship throughout the centuries. And so it is, in essence, what makes us, in large part, human. And so scientific research, accordingly, especially focused on life, really requires a deep understanding of not only of what life is, but also of what life can be. And we need to really expand our intellectual horizons in order to to start to answer that question. So I guess that the last part of the approach that I think makes this initiative unique is the commitment to cultivate the next generation of scholars. Nigel had mentioned plans to establish an MPhil that are affiliated with the center, but the way the center interacts and operates will place a huge emphasis on training the future generations of scholars and really equipping those scientists with the tools in order to tackle truly interdisciplinary problems. So today we have a great series of talks lined up that really mark the start of this effort. The sessions, as Didier mentioned, are broadly structured around the key themes of the center, the key research themes. And the individual talks, I think, are meant to summarize some of the key questions and barriers for which interdisciplinary collaboration is really crucial. What's most exciting about this, I think, is that we now have a collective means to address this barrier, made possible by generous support from the Leverhulme Trust and financial contributions from the individual departments, the School of Physical Sciences, and the University of Cambridge, all of which we're extremely grateful for. So that said, we have a considerable research challenge ahead, but it starts with the commitment to learn to speak each other's language, to do so in an inclusive and supportive environment, and to extend well beyond our comfort zones, and above all, to have fun. So without further ado, I hand the floor over to the scientists. Thanks.